What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur with Matty K. I am Matty K, and I would rather have delusions of grandeur than acceptance of mediocrity. That's something that you can write on your wall and never paint over it because it's permanent. Um, Today's episode of the podcast, episode number 12, is that was 14, but it's episode 12. Today's episode is called I saw somebody get arrested today, and then this emoji. So yesterday's episode's introduction was like 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long. Granted, it was almost an hour episode, and today's episode will probably be like 10 minutes. But so we're just gonna get right into the intro. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. And cue the intro song right now. Go. Go. Go! And I can be as loud as I want to be because good news, I'm pretty sure my asshole neighbor moved out. And just a reminder, you are allowed to be a good person and not like him because the first time I met him, this is very in the history of Matty K lore. This is like, I mean, it's a new piece of history, but it's very important. I've spoken about it a lot because it's very important. The first time I met him / talked to him, he was in the elevator. I was getting in the elevator. I had just gotten a pizza delivered, and I just moved in, and I was like, hey, dude, you want a slice of pizza? And he laughed. He didn't even look at me. He didn't acknowledge me. He didn't say hi. He didn't say no thank you. He just laughed. And I could tell that it wasn't like a laugh with me. It was like a laugh at me. And then he walked out. I don't need your sympathy. I'm not fishing for sympathy. Stop. I'm not fishing for sympathy. I'm not a victim. I'm just saying I have reasonable evidence that he's an asshole. You can't laugh at somebody for trying to give you free pizza and be a good person. You know what I mean? So you were allowed to be that caveman vibe of like, we don't like him. So anyway, happy Thursday, everybody. Today's Thor's day. Obviously, Thor is not here to celebrate because he's out saving the world. And he's a very good person, but he's not really a person. He's technically a god with a lowercase g. But he's also my friend. So it's more personal than that. We're good friends. We're very good friends. So happy Thursday, everybody. So I saw somebody get arrested today. So I was out running errands. I needed to go to the store. No, I needed to go to get blood work done because I just got established with a new doctor because I just moved. So I went to go get blood work done so that the doctor could like go over it and like give me medicine. And there were no spots available. So I just had to leave, but not before parking in the wrong building. So the day wasn't off to a very good start. But then I saved the day by going to Taco Bell. So I went to Taco Bell. I got a Nachos Bel Grande, which is basically just nachos. There's only one option at Taco Bell, which is nachos. You could just say, can I please have nachos? You don't even have to say the nachos or a nachos. You could just say, can I please have nachos? And I think Bel Grande is just like a fancy, fun, descriptive word, but I don't really believe it's necessary because there's not other types of nachos. There's just that one nacho. And these things are very good, okay? Chips, melted cheese, refried beans, seasoned beef, diced tomatoes, sour cream, shredded cheese. It's basically a Mexican pizza chopped up. And also, Mexican pizza is very good. If you have not had a Mexican pizza, your life hasn't started yet. And we would like to thank Doja Cat for bringing back Mexican pizza, because Mexican pizza was once upon a time a specialty item. It didn't always exist. It wasn't a part of the core menu. But Doja Cat sang a song, and she brought Taco Bell's Mexican pizza to us on the regular menu. So we thank you, Doja Cat, and we love you. And thank you for teaching us not to trust a big butt and a Gemini. All people are welcome here in the podcast. I don't discriminate. You're all welcome. I believe in equality. Unless you're a Gemini, then please block me. You're not welcome. Yes, I have family and friends who are Geminis, but that's only because I didn't know before I... Period. That's the end of that sentence. I don't know how to end that sentence. We're just going to move on. So then there's also these new items, because I was like, oh, what if I just get that? But the other day I got a Nachos Bel Grande, and I thought it would be enough food because it's really big, but it's kind of deceiving because the nachos there's a lot of air in them. So it's like, oh, look at this huge thing, because it comes in like a tin, but there's a lot of air in there. So after I ate those the other day, I wasn't quite full, but I was proud of myself for not overdoing it, because I usually overdo it. When I go to Taco Bell, I usually get like, okay, let me try and be realistic. 8 to 10 things, because it's so hard to tell. Because eating one taco from Taco Bell is not the same thing as eating like a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like, you go to a fast food place, it's like a burger and fries and a drink, or it's like nuggets, fries, and a drink, right? But when you go to Taco Bell, one taco is not a burger, and there's no fries. So it's like, okay, I'll have a burrito, and then I'll have a taco, and then I'll also have a Mexican pizza. So I decided to get some more things. So I got they have these new chicken nugget wraps. It's basically like a burrito shell and then chicken nugget with like lettuce, cheese, tomato. And then there's 2 sauces. There is a chipotle mayo and an avocado mayo. I think there are 2 types of mayonnaise, which I'm pro mayonnaise. I actually used to be a mayonnaise mogul. About a year or so ago, my grandfather passed away, and he left me this farm in this town called Stardew Valley, and I ended up raising, because it was abandoned when I got there. There's a podcast episode about this, one of the first couple ones. It's called Matty K Mayonnaise Mogul. You just go back and listen to that. But basically, I raised a bunch of chickens. Then I got eggs. Then I turned them into mayonnaise. I had a mayonnaise empire, and then it was all taken away from me in a moment. So just a reminder that your life could change in a moment. Your life could change in a moment for the better. It could change for the worse. It could change for neutral. So that's something to keep in mind. So they were both very good. I got a seasoned beef chalupa on the side just as like a buffer, because I was like, I don't know, what if I don't like these? What if the chicken nugget is like really dried out? Because it's Taco Bell. They don't really do french fries and chicken nuggets, except they do have the nacho fries, and they're good. And they did have these chicken tenders, and they were good. They were crispy. They were moist. Like, I was very happy with it. I mean, it's Taco Bell. I'm trying to think of something I've gotten from Taco Bell that I haven't liked, and I can't think of anything, and neither can you. But I did eat the chalupa too. So they were all really good, and so here's what happened. The day finally was going well, right? Sitting, because I drove around for 10 minutes trying to find shade because the sun was very loud today. And I was like, I want to eat in the shade. So let me set the scene for you, okay? Back of the Walmart parking lot. Found a corner of the lot, no other cars. a little bit of shade from a tree. I park the car, put all the windows down. I get the breeze coming through. I got my Taco Bell. I got a orange Fanta that I got from the vending machine this morning because I thought I was going to get blood work done, and you're supposed to fast before you get blood work done. And when I get my blood drawn after fasting, I want to pass out and I feel like I'm going to die. So I always have to have like a juice or soda with me. So as soon as they take the blood from me and I turn into a vampire, I can like drink the soda and, I can drink the soda pop. For some of our listeners, you might call it pop, and I want you to feel included because this is a beverage inclusive podcast. So please give me virtue signaling points for that. Thank you. So I had my orange Fanta, Wanta. I had a lemonade and a Sprite, and all three of these are caffeine free. And I had them in a cooler, and then popped on my phone Harry Potter 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because I didn't want to start with Harry Potter 1, you know what I mean? And I skipped the part at the Dursleys because it was just like, it's just too stressful. So there I am, eating my tacos. You know, Dobby came and left. Ron just rescued Harry. They go to the Weasley's house. And then I noticed something in my peripheral vision. So I look over, and there's a dude standing outside my window, and he's talking on the phone. And it's weird because I remember seeing him in my peripheral vision before hearing him, which is weird because if he was on the phone, you think I would have heard him as he approached or as he started talking and then looked over, which now starts to make me think, like, was he not really on the phone, but he just pretended to be talking on the phone because he was right by my window? Because, like, it makes more, it's weirder, but it actually makes more sense for him to not actually be on the phone and pretending. Because, like I said, in my memory, I remember seeing him before hearing him. And, like, I was in the driver's seat, and then there's the passenger seat and the window and him. He was maybe like a foot away from my car door / car window. So for me, he was like, you know, because I was in the driver's seat, he couldn't get to me. He wasn't on my side, but he was still like very close to the car, like way too close. And there's no other cars around me because I'm in like the very back of the parking lot. And he's like 35. I'm not good at telling people's ages. He could have been 27 to 42. I don't know. He's probably like 35. He was casual, but like well put together. Like he had on like jeans that were like nice. He had on like a hooded denim jacket, but it was like nice looking. And he was wearing sunglasses. They were like aviators. And I don't know. Like he didn't seem like he seemed like he was like it seemed like he was like a normal dude on the phone just stretching his legs, like walking around the parking lot. But the weird factor was the fact that like it's not like I was in my car and he was like 10 feet away, you know, under a tree on the sidewalk or something, or like pacing back and forth. He was like right outside my car window. And like I said, I don't remember him talking until I noticed him. And I don't know what he was saying because he was speaking Spanish. So I like, because that would have, like, that's, if I was listening to this podcast, I would really be like, okay, well, what was he saying on the phone? Here's the thing, I don't fucking know, because I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what he was saying. But it's like, this is what I think. I think he thought no one was in the car, because my car is like full of shit because I have stuff in it and all the windows were down. So I don't know if he was like, I don't want to get into legal trouble here, but I don't know. I don't know if he thought, there's stuff in the car. Maybe somebody bought a bunch of stuff at Walmart and stuffed it in there and the windows are down because it was a hot July day or something like that. But like, he seemed like kind of, I'm remembering it, he was kind of surprised that I was in the car. And that's why I think he started talking on the phone, because like I said, he was like, he was so close to my fucking car. There's no other cars. You could have been anywhere. Why were you right by my car? And I was like looking down, watching Harry Potter, eating my tacos. So I don't know, like, maybe he couldn't see my head because like the car seat was like blocking it or something. I don't know. But he noticed me notice him, and then he kind of casually walked away. But he didn't like beeline it away from the car. He kind of just like casually, I think the word is sauntered. He just kind of like sauntered away, I think is the word. And he was talking on the phone, and then he started like, he hung up, and then he like started to walk towards the bushes, and he was like, looked like he was facing away from me, but it looked like his hands were fiddling around his belt. And I was like, and I'm like watching him now because like I'm aware of him, and because I have like a very, fight or flight of like, when I'm by myself, I'm very aware of my surroundings. And especially when it's weird, like if there were like 20 people in the parking lot and he was like standing next to me, I wouldn't think about it. But like I said, there was no one around, no other cars. And then I just looked up and he was like right outside my window. So I was like kind of like watching him. I wasn't like making it obvious, although I don't know, maybe I was. So a lot of times I think I'm not being obvious. I think I'm just being like, and really my friends are like, no, you're like this. So I don't know. But he looked like he was fiddling around with his belt. I thought that maybe he was going to pee in the bushes. There's Walmart right there. You could go into the Walmart to use the bathroom. But he was doing that for like 30 seconds. And then he started walking towards the Walmart, where the other cars were. And he was walking towards this car with this older lady in the car, and he like said something to her. And then I'm like, oh, like this is like his mom or something. Like he came here and maybe he had to take like a work call, so he just walked to the edge of the parking lot to stretch his legs. I'm like, oh, okay, like all things are good. But then she looked up at him and she didn't respond, and she acted like she didn't know him. And he starts walking towards her, and then out of nowhere, everybody's just appearing out of nowhere, by the way. I guess all of you people are just like bending space-time. I don't know. Multidimensional time travelers. These two police officers just like walk up to him, and he looks surprised, and I don't even know what they're saying because I can't hear, but it didn't take long. They basically turn him around and put his hands behind his back and handcuff him and walk him away. So that was like crazy because I saw somebody get arrested in real time, and he didn't resist arrest, and I don't know what happened. But like I've seen people like, I'm trying to think, like I definitely have seen people like stopped by police, and I think I've seen like the beforehand, and I think I've seen people like already arrested, like maybe like in the car or in heck. But this was the first time I've ever seen it like happen in real time. Like I saw somebody who I thought was like innocent and chilling, and maybe they are, innocent until proven guilty. This is America. I believe in freedom. You need proof, you know. Um, but it was weird because you see it in movies and TV shows all the time. But then when you see something like that in real life, it's like weird. Like one time I was driving on the highway at night and I passed by a car that was on fire. And it was so surreal because you see cars in fires literally every day. TV shows, movies, video games, commercials, YouTube videos, CGI, whatever. But it was the only time I've ever seen, like it was on fire, like the entire car. And it wasn't like at the circus and controlled. It was like no one was around. And I was really scared driving by because I was like, what if it blows up while I'm driving by it? So I drove by it really quickly because I was like, I don't know if it's already blown up and that's why it's on fire, or like if it hasn't reached that yet, like if somebody doused it and then set it on fire and it's still gonna like hit the gas tank. I don't know. But that was like a really weird, surreal thing that happened. And so when you see things like in real life, it's weird. It's like different. So I don't know what has happened to him. I don't know why he was by my car. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty, or maybe he's somewhere in between. Because I think some of us are somewhere in between. And I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, I'm safe. I didn't get arrested. And he didn't steal my tacos. And who knows what's going on with Harry Potter. To all of you who want an update on Jake Gyllenhaal, he's still in the hospital. The nurse is still stealing his pudding cup, and things still are not looking good. So please, continue to send your thoughts and prayers and cryptocurrency for Jake, not for me. To those of you who do not know, Jake Gyllenhaal is a plant who lives on my balcony, and he allegedly was in an accident when I kicked him with my foot. But I only have 8 toenails, so I'm the true victim here. We're both victims of circumstances. So thank you guys for listening to episode 12 of Delusions of Grandeur with Matty K. If you are listening on the podcast app, thank you. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast episode. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like this video, leave a little hang loose emoji in the comments. We're very close to 250 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. If you're watching on Facebook, please like this video. Also do a hang loose emoji. Feel free to share this so that everybody knows that you listen to podcasts, which means that you're better than them. And thank you to all the love on Facebook. It's been fantastic, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. Social media at dogwmk on all platforms. Instagram and Twitter could really use some, and TikTok could really use some love. I'm pretty sure I shadow ban on TikTok and Instagram, so they could do some love. And if anybody's on Twitter, please feel free to follow me on Twitter. I hope you guys have a good night, and bye.